Hello, hello, hello. My name is Caroline. I go by she, her pronouns, and welcome to my booktube channel. Hi guys. Sorry I've been gone for a month, but here's a video I recorded in April. Enjoy. Today I wanted to go over my April reading month and my audiobook basically filled month. So yes, I again am in a weird part of my room. I have new hair, love it or hate it, and I'm here before my flight back to Michigan to start my lease with my girlfriend at our new apartment. I'm here just to quickly give y'all a little wrap up of how my reading month went. So it was a really mini month for me with moving and everything crazy going on with a ton of work. I worked so much this month and I'm tired, but still in the month I made room for a lot of audiobook listening. I did not read physical books that much, if at all, this month, but I thought it was kind of quirky. I was like, maybe I can just call it, I can spin it to be an audiobook April thing. So yeah, I've really recently gotten into audiobooks. I wasn't a huge consumer of them before this month. I listened to a couple in March and I really liked it and it kind of converted me. And then since I've been working a lot and I got a new little part-time gig where I'm making cookies and stuff. So while I'm making cookies, mixing the batter, I just throw on, sorry, I'm fidgeting so much. While I'm making cookies, whatever, I just throw on an audiobook and I listen to it on 2x speed and it's been lovely. I also have been listening to audiobooks while driving, etc. So it's been really nice. So yeah, the first one I read was Wilding Hall by Elizabeth Hand. Literally, why did I say it like that? Wilding Hall. Basically encompasses a band who, during the recording and writing of their album, Wilding Hall, are based at Wilding Hall, a Gothic mansion, mysterious mansion in the English countryside, and it kind of chronicles their weird happenings and just mystery and creepy things that happen during the recording of this album. I don't know if that sentence made sense. And each narrator or each character has a different narrator, so it's a cast of characters who all played their respective characters, and it's really it's really atmospheric. It's really what am I trying to say? I don't know, it's really enthralling when you get into it because it reads like a podcast kind of, and if you're listening to it, you kind of get a feel for each of the characters in varying depths, I suppose. Certain characters you'll get to know better than the other characters. But yeah, I thought it was really charming. It had a lot of that 70s charm for fans of Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac and different folky rock, experimental, acid rock, I don't know, musicians. It had a lot of that kind of nostalgia, atmosphere, immersive. That's the word I was looking for. The horror elements were not as there, but if you're looking for something that's kind of I don't know, just a fun listen, quick listen, it's really fast, and something just kind of lighter but also dark and twisted a little bit, a teeny bit, to, I don't know, get you into audiobooks. I definitely recommend this one. It's a little bit cheesy at times, but it's worth it. I don't care. It was good. I felt like I was so immersed in the characters and the relationship that I kind of had some post-audiobook depression. So yeah, I really recommend that one. Good show. Totally good show. Next, I listened to Animal by Lisa Taddeo, and it is narrated by Emma Roberts. Now, I've been wanting to read or consume this book for so long, and I almost bought it when I went to B&N in my last video, haul thing, but I had seen mixed reviews, and I just felt like it would be a good one, because I opened it, I read a couple lines, and I was like, this seems like it'd be a good audiobook, let's see if it's available. And so I got the audiobook, listened to it. Emma Roberts was the perfect narrator to play Joan, the main character. It just made so much sense. And it was very good, very dark, very traumatic, So trigger warning for basically anything you can imagine. Yeah, there's a lot of repeated SA, a lot of child SA, so please go into this book with that in mind. Also a lot of themes of like compet and such like that, and it's kind of frustrating at parts for me as someone who has gone through unlearning compet. It was kind of like, damn, Joan, come on, Joan. Oh my god, let me tell you about it. So it encompasses Joan, basically, essentially a woman scorned, and she's living in New York, but she encounters a really traumatic situation, which is described within like the first couple pages, in which a man who she was seeing for a while does something pretty traumatizing to her, which digs up feelings of fear, lonesomeness, and basically opens up the wound of her childhood trauma. And so she goes all the way to California with the intent of finding a woman, the only person alive who may have some semblance of like connection to her. So yeah, she goes to California to find this woman, and they'd never met before, but we basically follow Joan and her state of mind as she flashes back from the past to the present, explaining her dynamic relationships with all the different characters mentioned, her relationship with men, patriarchy, trauma, fucking misogyny, just like all the levels of her psyche are basically analyzed. And Joan is not a perfect character. She's not extremely likable, but you can understand to a degree why she made the decision she makes, because she's been done so dirty by men and trauma, etc. in her life. And moral of the story, men are evil, misogyny is everywhere, and it runs so deep in everything that we do. So it's a really compelling read. The audiobook was fantastic. I was so immersed in it. 10 out of 10. Well, actually, I think I gave it 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, but whatever. Yeah, so that's Animal by Lisa Taddeo. I want to get the physical copy of the book too. There's a lot of great one-liners as well, and I just liked it. So yeah. Next, I listened to... It took me like literally a day. I just wanted to get this book out of the way. It was free somewhere. I found it. I forget where. But I consumed the audiobook so quickly, and that was Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I wanted to read this book. I liked the physical copy. When I worked at a bookstore, I like saw it all the time, and I was like, oh, it looks like an IKEA catalog. So fun. And I liked the concept of that and the shtick of Grady Hendrix's work. But overall, I didn't spend money on it, and I knew it would be kind of like a light, quick read that I wouldn't care that much about, so I listened to the audiobook on 2x speed. And yeah, it was a charming read. I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars because it was like a commentary on like capitalism and the way that it literally consumes you and makes you feel like working a retail job that does not pay a great substantial wage kind of just becomes what you are made for and becomes your role in the system, and how hopeless that can feel, and how your relationships with your coworkers might look, and how it's similar, not similar, but how it somewhat ties to the prison industrial complex in a certain degree, not generally, but it kind of draws a parallel to that and how that looks within late stage capitalism where we are now. And it's like a comedic horror, but I didn't really find it to be extremely either of those like descriptors. I felt like it was lighthearted and witty, like Grady Hendrix's work often is, and it was horror in the sense that there were some like curious, mysterious, interesting paranormal elements, but overall I didn't think it to be that like far on either end of the spectrum, or like even a Venn diagram of the two. But I do like Grady Hendrix's work a little bit. Like I have a complicated relationship with it because I appreciate what he does, but I never read one and I'm like, whoa, I have to read another. Like I can't get enough. I feel life changed by this man's work. But I do respect and appreciate his work, and yeah. What else can I say? Yeah, I was kind of like done with the book. Like when I started it, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to get into this. And then I got into it, I stuck with it. And then toward the end, I was like, okay, 3 out of 5. But the end of the book, when it kind of came full circle, it kind of got me in a heartwarming sense. And I was like, let's go. But still, 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Yeah. Next is my current read, which I plan to finish up today on the plane or before I leave for the airport. And that is Dominicana by Angie Cruz. I love this book. It was recommended to me. It was recommended to me from my friend Jessica, who always has perfect taste. And I wanted to read it for the longest. I finally got it in my last video, my haul. And it centers around a girl named Anna, who at a very, very frightening young age is married off to this man who is abusive. Yeah, she's married to him for the purpose of immigrating from the Dominican Republic to the US. So eventually she can send money to her family and then eventually bring her family to the US. It's set in the 60s. It kind of mentions, it talks a lot about like the role of women, particularly young women, in like a Hispanic household, as well as the sacrifices that people have to make for family and for some semblance of liberty. It focuses on racial tensions and cultural tensions at the time in the US and in DR. And it is overall a very compelling read. I really, really enjoy it. I'm like 80% through, so I have like an hour left of the audiobook or so if I listen to it on 2x speed, which I tend to do. And yeah, it's really good. I also have the physical copies, so I've been like reading every so often when I'm not listening to the ebook or audiobook. So yeah, I've been kind of balancing real book, audiobook, and I might finish it by reading it. I don't know, but I also have a lot of cleaning to do, so I might just listen to the audiobook. But yeah, the way that Angie Cruz writes is really great, and I really like it. So it's going for a 5 out of 5 stars, but we'll see. Maybe a 4 stars, maybe a 4.5 rounded down. I don't know. You have to friend me on Goodreads. My projected last or next read, maybe I'll fit 2 more books in this month. I don't know. It's still April 21st or something, 22nd. But my next read is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austin. I have the book packed away already for the plane, but I have this little slip because I take these off because I want to protect my hardcovers at all cost. So I keep this hoe here while I bring the book out and about. But yes, I also talked about this in my last video, surprise, surprise. And it centers around a lesbian woman who is processing a tragedy, I believe, and also mental health struggles. And she accidentally gets a job at a church as a receptionist, and it grapples with her mental health. And I've heard really great praises of the way that existentialism and like mental health struggles and philosophical ideologies kind of are spoken about and handled in this book. And I've heard a lot of people saying how Emily Austin understands mental health struggles and just so eloquently discusses them within this novel. So I'm extremely excited. I love books about lesbians, and yeah, woohoo, I can't wait. I'll start it soon. Finally, if I do have time, I might squeeze in another random audiobook. I started The Death of Jane Lawrence audiobook, but I think I have to read that in physical form. So maybe eventually I'll like borrow the book from the library or get the book, I don't know, get the ebook format. But I want to read that eventually. It's a really cool sounding gothic novel. But sometimes, like, no offense to my UK friends, but sometimes because I like to listen to ebooks fast, I don't know what it is about British people on audiobooks, but I just have a hard time. It's not even that I don't understand the accent, because woo, shout out my Irish family, but it's that, I don't know, y'all lose me. Sorry. Not me starting a feud with the entire United Kingdom. Honestly, they can handle it. They've done so much to this world. Y'all can handle it. Like, whatever. Go eat your jammy Dodgers. I don't know. Yeah. So I might listen to that. Might find the ebook somewhere. But I also have so many books from my last video that I've talked about ad nauseum. to consume. So I might read The Chosen and the Beautiful because I want to read it. Duh, like I want to read it. So this might be my book after everyone in this room will someday be dead. So yeah, that's pretty much my April wrap up and my end of April projections. So thank you so much for watching. I've been working on it. I'm kind of a slow editor sometimes, but I filmed a vlog last time my girlfriend and I went to Detroit to check out apartments. I'm trying to kind of see how I feel branching out of solely booktube content because I feel like it'd be fun to share life with friends on the internet. So stay tuned for that potentially. And yeah, that's pretty much my April, my audiobook April. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all. Happy Earth Day. You might be seeing this late, but it's Earth Day right now. And love y'all. Bye.